305 Redline, turbo versus supercharger, the oldest debate in performance cars, and most explanations online get the actual physics wrong. Here's how each one actually works, what the real trade-offs are, and which one actually makes more power. Both devices do the same fundamental job: force more air into the engine than it could pull in naturally, which lets you burn more fuel per cycle and make more power. The difference is entirely in how they get their power to do that job. A supercharger is mechanically connected to the engine via a belt off the crankshaft. When the engine spins, the supercharger spins at a fixed ratio proportional to engine RPM. This means boost is available immediately, at any RPM. The instant you press the throttle, there is no delay. This is why superchargers feel so responsive. The power is simply there, matched to whatever the engine is doing in real time. A turbocharger works completely differently. It's driven by a turbine spinning in the exhaust stream. Exhaust gas that would otherwise just exit the tailpipe instead spins a turbine wheel, which is connected by a shaft to a compressor wheel on the intake side. The problem is that at low RPM, there isn't enough exhaust flow to spin the turbine fast enough to generate meaningful boost. This delay between pressing the throttle and boost actually arriving is turbo lag. Here's where it gets interesting, because a turbocharger is powered by exhaust energy that would otherwise be wasted. It's fundamentally more efficient than a supercharger, which steals mechanical power directly from the crankshaft to spin itself. A supercharger can consume 20 to 40 horsepower just to drive itself at high boost levels. A turbo's energy source is essentially free. It's recovering energy that was going to be thrown away anyway. This efficiency difference is why turbocharged engines generally make more power per pound of boost, and why nearly every modern high-performance production engine, from economy cars to hypercars, uses turbocharging rather than supercharging. The parasitic loss of a supercharger becomes a bigger and bigger penalty as boost levels increase. But superchargers still win in specific scenarios, because there's no lag. Superchargers are the better choice for applications where instant, predictable throttle response matters more than outright peak power, drag racing off the line, certain track applications, and any engine where drivability at low RPM is a priority. This is part of why supercharged engines remain popular in American muscle cars, where instant low-end torque is exactly what the application wants. Turbo lag has gotten dramatically better with modern technology. Smaller, lighter turbine wheels spool faster. Twin-scroll turbo designs improve exhaust pulse efficiency at low RPM. Electric turbochargers, which use a small electric motor to spin the turbine before exhaust flow is sufficient, virtually eliminate lag entirely on the newest performance platforms. The lag problem that defined turbos for decades is becoming a non-issue on current generation engines. On raw numbers, a well-built turbo setup can produce more total power than a comparable supercharger setup on the same engine, particularly at higher boost levels, because the turbo isn't fighting the parasitic drag penalty. This is why virtually every modern factory high-horsepower turbocharged engine outperforms comparable supercharged competitors on power per liter.